Hello, I think we are live. Just give me a second. Sound seems good. Is the sound okay? I just want to make sure the sound is okay because a couple of times I did screw up sound when I started and then I realized midstream that it's horrible. So I just want to make sure it's good from the bat. If anybody from chat can confirm. Excellent. Thank you all. Cool. So I am happy to be back. I've been on a 2.5 week long vacation away from everything here. So I was actually back home in Serbia. So had no chance to stream or do anything like that. So I'm very happy to be back. And there's a lot of things I want to get over through. So there's a bunch of new services, a bunch of new things that have been released in the last 2 weeks or a bit more. And I want to kind of go through of them in the coming months. Yeah. Oh, hey, Graham. Thank you very much. Very good to be back. I am happy. Back home. I had a vacation. It's never a vacation when you go visit family. It's more of a, it was okay, I guess. It's always just like running and seeing family members. It's not the best thing in the world, but you know, you kind of get exhausted. It's if you intend to go home with family for vacation, you might have a bad time. So, and also it was super hot in Serbia. It was like 36 degrees Celsius, which is too much for my taste. And I'm lovely back here in Germany. It's much cooler and much better here. And also I can do this. So I'm pretty happy to be able to do this again. So what is the plan of today? Today's plan is to have a look at this lovely new service that was released, I think, 24th of June officially, right? So it was released 2 weeks ago, called Amazon Honeycode. So this should be something interesting or something fun for everybody. Well, we'll get to the fun part in a bit, but hopefully I can kind of demystify it for you. No, I have not had a thorough look to this service. I had a kind of a cursory look what it does and how it is used, but I really want to explore this along with you. So if I don't know something, it's just because I don't yet know it. I have also very limited knowledge about it. But hey, this would be a good chance for me to kind of see what I know, what I don't know, and then if it's bad, or if I find some problems, I can go and talk to some people. But I want to make a big disclaimer here. It's a beta release, right? So it's currently in beta. It's accessible to everybody, so it's not like a hidden beta or there's no wall in front of that beta, so anybody can actually go and try it out. So that's pretty cool. So, and also the beta is basically some things may work, some things may not work. So far, the things I've played around with do work. So, but we'll see. And also, this is released by AWS, but it kind of, at least from the onset, it looks to be pretty disconnected from AWS. So, and you'll see what I mean. It's not necessarily an AWS application. But what is Honeycode, right? You might have asked yourselves, or you may have heard, at least myself, I've seen this all over Twitter, all over LinkedIn, all over wherever people have been talking about AWS Honeycode. Oh, this is new no-code service. Oh, that's such a buzzword, right? People tell me, oh yeah, no-code will take over the world. This will be just amazing. It's gonna be, we're not gonna code anymore. Let's take a step back, okay? So let me just try to show you my screen right now. And does anybody know what this is? Let me try to maybe zoom in a bit. Nope, that. What is that? That is, that's DOSBox. And DOSBox is running some pretty old software here. And this software is, I don't know if there's people old enough in this stream to know what this is. It's VisiCalc. It's the precursor of Excel. It's where the concept of like a spreadsheet program came to be. So it's very old. And but here's the thing. Spreadsheet software is very approachable. It's easy to get started with. It doesn't require you to have a computer degree to get started with a spreadsheet software, even when we talk about more complex things. So you don't have to be technically capable to do things on Excel spreadsheets or spreadsheets in general, right? So I'm not sure. Maybe none of you used VisiCalc. I for certainly haven't. It's from 1979, I believe, that it was launched, or like late 70s. It was launched initially. So, but it was a big thing, right? It was a big revolution because everybody can make these applications, quote unquote. The term applications is used very loosely here, but people can make these applications or tools that can do things with data. And you did not have to be an assembly programmer, a C programmer, or let's say more, you didn't have to have that much technical knowledge to make this, right? So, everybody had an Excel course in school or in a local like community. At least I know that every person I know had a chance to do like an Excel spreadsheet course where I lived. So it's pretty cool, right? After doing like VisiCalc, we had something like this. Now this might be more approachable, right? So what is this? This is Access, Microsoft Access. So it's this. Hey Dennis, hello. This is Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access. I'm not late, Dennis. I said it's going to be 6 p.m. and it's 6 p.m. I'm not sure. Are we on the same time zone? We should be. By the way, for anybody in chat here, Dennis is my colleague. He's also covering Germany. So he does a whole bunch of streams on Twitch as well. So make sure to follow him on all the social medias and Twitch. So he does also the streaming like I do. Dennis, but you do them only in German or do you do English as well? Well, I think he does both. There you go. He does both. So follow him for more AWS goodies. He does a lot of cool stuff. So make sure if you like streams like this, make sure to follow Dennis as well. So Access is a tool that kind of has a database, and you kind of make front end things with those data. I used to help out people who would have business applications written in Access. So this is no code, right? This is in most terms a no code application, and this is from Access. Is this 1.0 or 2.0? It's running on Windows 3.11. Something more familiar maybe to most of us. This is the first one I've seen is Access on Windows 98. Yeah, so this is something I've used. It's cool. This is something we had fun with. You click a bunch of boxes. You put some data in. Like first thing you need data. You put data. You put buttons. You put text boxes, and you make an application with zero code. Remember, no code. This is really cool. Nothing revolutionary, but cool. And then finally, I would imagine that most people here know this, and it's not that, it's this, and it's, again, the same thing, but for Windows XP or Office 2003, and this is the one that I spent most of my time with. And I have not developed applications in Access, but I've helped people do it. So now, what is this? This is not intended for me. This is not maybe intended for you as a developer or as an engineer, but a person in your team, a person in marketing, person in finance, person who's not necessarily technically, let's say a technical person, an engineer, a developer can make usable applications with their knowledge of their business logic or actually their business processes, can make an application, can make a usable thing through the use of tools such as this or this, or well, not that, but maybe, where is it? This one, right? This or this or this, right? So these things exist, and these things have been used for a long, long time. Now, what is Honeycode? Well, Honeycode is in essence this, but made for the 21st century, right? So it's old school. So Honeycode basically takes the concept of having an Access application, Access written application, and having a lovely Excel spreadsheet or a table like here we have in VisiCalc, and makes it something new, right? So if I go here and then find my thing if I could find it, if I just open it like so. Excellent. So it's a fully managed service. In essence, it runs on AWS, but it allows you to quickly build mobile and web applications. And it says here for teams, but basically for anybody without any programming. You literally have to do no programming here. It kind of takes all the knowledge you might have from managing a spreadsheet or an Access database, and it's super great. It's super simple to do things. It's super simple to get started. And for a lot of small things, this might prove to be very, very useful, right? So you want to build a small task application, or you wanted to make like a registration. Yeah, I know there's no fun in this because there's no programming. As I said, this service might not be for you per se, but it might be for people who you work with. It's a great thing. It's a great way to get started with for a lot of things, especially, hey, you want to make a small sign up application, just click a few buttons. I think everybody knows how to drag and drop, and it should work. And it also kind of has it works with themes. You basically create themes, and these themes have things called like workbooks, and like rows or basically table entries. It will make more sense once I open it up. And when it comes to pricing, and the pricing is here really up here, and it's pretty cheap, I would say. Well, relatively cheap. If you have a basic theme, like you can have up to 20 members with 2,500 rows per workbook. Rows is basically in database rows, or tables rows, and you can have unlimited workbooks. So it's great to get you started, especially now. It's super affordable. Okay, so let's get started. So if I click sign up for Honeycode, it's actually going to take me to somewhere away from AWS. So it's not necessarily sitting on your AWS console like normal, but it will actually take you to builder.honeycode.aws domain where you can actually register. So the first thing you would have to do, most likely, I already registered, but it would take you to like a page, something like this, right? So you would have to create an account if you don't have one. If it's your first time using Honeycode, you would have to create an account. Super simple. Full name, email. I lost project manager expressed interest. Yeah, exactly. So, and here's the thing, Mr. Vel 17121, or Mrs. So I have, in one of my previous jobs, I had a task of like, hey, Darko, you know a bit of programming. Can you write a project tracker? I'm like, yeah. And it took me 4 months, right? I think that's 4 months spent, which could have been spent better. So instead of me building a project tracker, I could have had the project manager say, here's everything you need. You don't need to write that scary code. You can just click a bunch of buttons and you should be good to go. So this is the whole reason behind this, besides some other things. You create one, but I have it already, so I'm just gonna log in like my own. So password 123, right? And once you have signed up for this, I mean, you have to do verification emails, all the standard things like you would do on anything, and it will take you to a thing called My Drive, and it's empty. There are no workbooks or applications available. So to get started, there's a whole bunch of actually built-in or sample applications or ideas present here that you can kind of get started with. So if I click on Create Workbook, there's one, you can like do a bunch of templates here, like a simple to-do, a customer tracker, time off reporting, task trackers, right? But let's do like a simple to-do thing. So if I click this, it's gonna basically generate everything I need to do to create a simple to-do application, and it's already available. Like, it's done. I can use it. I can literally start working with it, and like my phone just like showed up, like I have a new application available. So it's that fast, and you can see here it's just an Excel spreadsheet, right? And this table in itself is being used as a data source. It's a database in itself. And if we look here, there's a bunch of additional databases here. Sorry, tables available here. So if I go to dashboard, you will see like how many things are like present. on that. And there's like done, how many, like this is basically will be like a picker dashboard. And then like some icons that we can use, right? Reminder options, and finally the tasks. So these all tasks are kind of assigned to me right now, and this one, but this is the backend. How does the application look? There's one application connected to this workbook, and this is kind of how it looks. Now, this is a horrible example. It doesn't look very nice here, but this is how you build your applications. So if you see like this list, let's see, what do we have here? What kind of things do we have? So we show certain things here related to the data source, and the data source I believe here is if I click on this segment, no, it's this one, no, not the data box, it's this data cell, it's the shared, so it takes the data from tasks, and it takes this one here, right? So it takes all of this information from here. It's going to display another additional things. Actually, let's have a look how this looks. If I click on View App, it's going to open up the app in the browser. And this is a fully working app. It works right now. So this is how the application in itself looks. So I have a bunch of tasks assigned to me. Now these tasks are only shown to myself. I'm currently logged in because it takes the login value. So when you log into Honeycomb, it takes your email, your username, whatnot. It takes that and it assigns these things based off of that. So if you have a look here at the table tasks, you see that all of these tasks are assigned to me except for schedule launch meeting. This is assigned to some fictional character we have in this application. And if I go here, you will see that I don't have that schedule thing. So one of the things I can do here is I can add a task. I can say stream on Thursday. I will assign it here. And what is if I go here, click, say, yep, Thursday. And I want to say, set a reminder, right? If I do this, now the reminder part of it is actually built into tasks, into Honeycode. It has like automation features that it can like send out notifications, send out emails based off of certain things. So where is it? Stream on Thursday, it says here, and that's it, right? So I am able to do this. I am able to access this. Like if I would say like learn to juggle, you see we have like an emoji. Of course, it supports emojis. If I go here and I click this thing, whoop, that's it. It's done. I have actually completed my task. If I go to all tasks, I will see that all tasks, even the one assigned to Anna Carolina, is available here. And if I click add task again, it's the same thing as I would be able to do it. Now coming back here, you will see that there's a new row added here. I've added a new row to this database. It's already available. And if I do any manual changes to these things, like if I just delete table rows like so, if I go back to my to-do application, click here, and they're gone, right? So it's a very real time. It's a very real-time application that it's available right now. So we have like automations here that sends reminders. So one of the things, it will send an email to Darko. There's a bunch of other actions like notify, delete a row, add a row. So there's an ability to do some more automations if something happens. If like, an event is triggered or something like a new row is added, you can do some things like add a row in another table or something like that. But here's the thing, like these things are actually referencing stuff. If I say like, if we look at the done here, we said we have like a couple of options here. We have yes and no. And these things are actually being filtered from one of the other tables. We're using row link. Row link is like a linking rows from different tables. And we can set the source table to the source table called done. And the source table done is that, just yes and no. So this is how you would like set up two different values for an option on this one. So this is like a simple to-do application. Let's do something more. Let's create a workbook of time off reporting. So I'm not sure how about you, but a lot of time off applications suck. One we have here where I work is horrible. It's just a mess. So how to create a super simple new one, if I click just this, it will create like a time off reporting for employees. Now, I have John Styles, Jane Rowe, Mary Major, Jane Rowe again, a bunch of people here that kind of don't exist. So let me just remove these things. Now, I'm my own manager, apparently. Let's go here, and I want to just delete a bunch of other things. We have a bunch of time off here that I'm going to leave this and remove these, like so. Okay, cool. So this makes sense if you have more people present, right? Currently, I have just myself on my team. If I go here on Teams, if we look here, it's only me. But let's actually add another person. Let's add a team member. I will add an email. I will add another person here, like so. Can I open this? I can. I'll just open Twitter. Cool. I will open up, refresh this. Honeycomb or Honeycode, the names. So if I go to Honeycode, I have an invitation. Now here's the thing: it will ask me to join this team. Here's the thing: I have already an account created. If you don't have if you don't have a Honeycode account created, you will have to create a new one to be able to join this team. So I already have created an account here as a person called Alan Ford, and I'm using this person just kind of as an example of another teammate. I click join. And I go back to here and refresh this. Hopefully I will see Mr. Alan Ford here that I can kind of use. So I have 2 people in my team right now. Okay, going back to my time off reporting application, and I'm gonna add more people. So I'm gonna add employee. I'm gonna, what is this person's name? It's gonna be Alan Ford. See, it has automatically populated this name because it's a team member, and Alan Ford's manager is going to be Darko. Now, if let's actually do something. Wait, give me a second. I want to make this more interesting. So, log out. Hopefully this works. So. Just please bear with me a second. Does it work? It works, hopefully. Excellent. So let's open QuickTime. I'm trying something for the first time. Well, bam. Now you have an exclusive look into my phone, right? So this is the thing you're looking into. Apparently, you can use QuickTime to view your phone as long as it's connected via cable. So as you can see here, I have a Honeycode application, and I'm currently logged in as Alan Ford. Now, if I refresh this, hopefully, there should be some application here that's available for me, but apparently it's not. So if I go to applications, do I need to invite somebody here? I should not be able to. I should not have to. If I refresh this, Alan Ford should be able to see that he should be part of my team, and this person. So I don't need to publish anything. It should be automatic. So the application itself should be automatically available. Now here's the thing. I want to see if this. Do I need to share it with Alan Ford in some way, or? I don't think I should be able. I need to share it with anybody. It should be available out of the box for this person. Let me just go here. Some notifications. That's perfectly fine. Let me actually remove these notifications like so. So going back to my team, Alan Ford is a member, but I don't think I need to assign applications to anybody. All of the people here, if I share, yeah, Alan. Yeah, I mean, collaborate just gives this person permission to access this application, right? So one moment, maybe I have. Let's actually do it like that. Update now, fresh my mobile phone. Perfect, excellent. So going back here, now one of the things you can see I have 2 time off applications here. So if I click on time off, you will actually get to see how a mobile application looks. So first of all, you need a Honeycode application. And this Honeycode application can actually load these apps. So these are not separate applications that run somewhere like a web server. They run through the entire Honeycode ecosystem. So like I can request like a time off here. Let's say I'm going to do it again in July and just going to do somewhere else again, July, and I'm going to just a couple of days, right? Like so. I want to say I want to go home. Submit and submit. Is that it? Excellent. So I have a pending request here for Alan Ford. Alan Ford has requested this. Now, if I go and I go here, I use this one here, like so, time off manager, and it will open up the application here, like so. There is a pending request here. If I click, I could click approve, or if I go to Honeycode, let me just open up this entire form. If I go to here and time off, there is another one here for Alan Ford that's pending, and the description is here. Now, going to the manager app, you can see this is the app builder, view app. Go here and I say, yep, that's approved, that's fine. And I want to approve this other one as well because I'm my own manager. And that's it. So, and one of the things you see here that Darko, as a manager, actually got a notification. There has been a new request submitted by Alan Ford that has requested time off. Now, this thing comes to Honeycode in itself. Again, when I first heard of Honeycode, I thought it was something more, something. I wouldn't say like fresh or something super cool, something brand new. But this is nothing brand new, and that's a good thing. And this is not something bad. It's a great way to have people who have less technical knowledge and less technical experience actually build usable applications, like the same way they did it using Access or the same way they did it using Excel, but with some more flexibility in the terms of you can actually use it on a phone, you can actually use it as a web application, so much better, and especially with the controls of like permissions, access, and all those things. So I think it's really, really cool. Let's have a look at this builder thing. So one of the things you have noticed here, actually let me open up my application. Like so, can I do this again? Yeah, cool. So you see here that you have like new request and history, the bottom, I'm showing it like the bottom square and little circle. So those are things called screens. And if I go to this application, like so, if I go time off, you will see that I have new screens, time off and history. One of the things I can do here is I can add a new screen. So if I go add objects, sorry, no, not that, add objects, sorry, back, I can click plus on add screen. I'm gonna give it a screen name. Should be screen, right? Like so. I'm gonna give it hello stream. And then here we can actually add objects. Now, objects can be different things. It can be a data cell, content boxes, buttons, user inputs, some additional layouts like date and time. Like you can literally just like date cells here. Then you can just kind of set initial values and what kind of a display thing is going to be. Now I've added this here right now. And if I go again here, unlock, and you can see that I have hello stream here. If I click here, I have a time here that I can kind of set as I want. Again, a time input for that does something. Again, I have nothing to do. I have no input here. It doesn't do anything. But if I wanted to, I can kind of connect it to some additional tooling or additional data sources in my Honeycode application. So pretty cool. Again, this actually might be easier to people who have actually previously worked with Excel a bit more and with Access than rather an actual developer, because you might not have ever had a chance or need to work with these kind of applications. But I think it's pretty cool. It's still in beta, so take everything I say today with a grain of salt. It looks like Visual Basic, yeah. So there's actually no code. Yeah, I know, but there's actually zero code in this one. There's nothing for you to code on this application. And even if you look at like some other workbooks, you can use like a start from scratch, and this will create a completely blank workbook with nothing in it. You will have a single table like so, and no applications, nothing. Like let's try to create something. Let's do something here. Name, and then email, and then whatnot. Let's say location, and then let's do contact. I want to create like a little contact form where you can get your name, email address, and your location, and if you want to be contacted or not. Now, I'm going to add some dummy values here just so you can get started. I'm going to say Darko Mesaros, email address, Darko RS, location Berlin, and contact, yes. Let's do some other person, Alan Ford. Now, I can also use my existing contacts or existing people, but I can also just use like anything like this. So if I do Alan at Ford, like that, I'm gonna call him New York, right? For those who don't know, Alan Ford is one comic book hero where I read as a kid, so it has been only popular where I come from. So okay, so like that. Then where magic happens is when you format columns. Like I want to say that this is just plain text. I don't care. Email is sorry, you have to hit apply. I want to say plain text, apply. Email is plain text, apply. Location is again plain text. I don't care. We could have predefined locations and stick them in a table. But for example, for contact, I want to predefine things. So one of the things I can do here is there's a way for you to kind of do something here. If I click here and wizard, I can create a pick list. And pick list is basically gives you the ability to only specify certain values for that column, and from the ones you define. So create pick list. So it takes the data. So I want to choose my table one, and I want to say contact. It's going to link to data in a new table. So this wizard is actually going to create a new table, and this table is going to have basically yes and no in that table. And that's it. So here you can only pick yes and no, or you can even pick blank, but I want to make sure that I pick. So if I go to here now again to tables, there's table one contact. One of the things I'm going to do here is delete this table row, go back here and table one, and say here it's going to be only yes and no, right? So we have already defined some sort of quote unquote logic to this creation. So we have now a table with a couple of people. Let's add more. Bob Rock. That's again same comic strip. Bob Rock. Cool. So how can we, no, we don't have an application here, but let's do something about it. We can actually create an application through an app wizard. So even simpler, wizards, yeah. I want to choose a table. I want to say, choose my table 1 and make me an application. So it generates an application. I want to call it table 1. That should be my source. This should be like registrations, or let's say sign up sheet, right? I want to say I don't want this information to be visible on this one. I just want the name and email and location to be visible here. Cool. Click next. The next option is like a detail screen. So registration. I want all of the things to be available here. Click next. And last but not least is basically the sign up page. I want all of these things to be created. All right. Apply. This is now created an application. I will call the application sign me up. And click view app. Now this application should be available to everybody, I think. Is this available to Mr. What's his name? Alan Ford? No, it's not. But one of the things you can see here is that this application is currently available. If I click on Darko Mestaros, I will see all of these details here. If I go back to sign me up and I click sign up sheet, add, I can add a new person. So let's add Graham Beer. That's how I know you, from Graham at email.com. And location is Graham. Are you still on chat? If yes, do tell me what location should I put. I believe you're based out of the UK, so I'll put UK. And contact, I will say, please don't contact Graham. UK Southampton. There you go. Southampton. There you go. Click done. That's it. Now I have Graham here added. If I go here, I can look at this information. Basically, what I've done right now is I have created a really nicely looking front end for my spreadsheet in the back end, right? So, and this front end is accessible through a phone, through a web interface, like so. Right. So now this is basically, I took something from scratch. This is super simple. There's nothing here like I can potentially create an automation. Let's see if we can do an automation. Row added or deleted. Excellent. So if a row is added to this table, I will add a notify of Darko RS. Ooh, what's up? What's bad here? Table or sheet. Table 1, that's fine. Invalid. Check that the table sheet is selected for a trigger. I have selected it. Table 1. Table 1. It's fine. A row is added to table. Okay. Sends email to at Darko. I say, hey, new person registered. So just link to this application. Perfect. So missing notify recipient. What does this mean? This seems fine. Can I do Darko? Yeah. Okay, maybe this makes more sense. Perfect. So yes, there you go. It's saved. So if I click publish, now this is the only thing that has to be published. Automations need to be published. Everything else is out of the box. So now, if you see I have no notifications here, if I go here to sign me up and I hit add and I want to do somebody else, Dennis Traub, Dennis at, I don't have your email, or I don't know what to put for your email, at aws.com, because that's an AWS person. Location, you're in Hamburg, I believe. Hamburg, I may be wrong, and I say, yes, contact Dennis. Click this, done. New person has been added. At the same time, there's a notification here saying, hey, new person has registered. And if I go back to here and to my email, I should also receive an email somewhere. Yes, there has been, that's a reminder for me, and there's somebody set up automations. Yeah, bunch of reminders I will be getting here via email as well. So simple as that. So that's also very cool. I mean, you can, again, do more things. You can like, hey, add a row additionally to some, or update a specific row in some other table. Like maybe I can do a different table again. But this would be basically a infinite loop, but I can have an additional table to add more things to that table. So you can create sort of logical automations or workflows through this thing. So pretty cool. Again, not something that should be basically for you as an engineer. It can be super simple to do some quick things, but also you can show this application or show this service to folks who are less technical, but also want to write this, like somebody mentioned here. Basically, project managers expressed interest into something like this. I see a really nice future for this kind of a service for those use cases, because not everything needs to be coded, and this is a great way to kind of give the people the power, or democratize the ability to create tools or create utilities that will make your life much easier. Yeah, there's additional things that it can do. There's some API interactions. It's currently very limited when it comes to what it does with AWS, but there are some additional API interactions are available. I have not really had a chance to check out what it does, but there's a great thing here. If I refresh this, the Honeycode community. So if you go to honeycodecommunity.aws, again, separate website, there's a whole section of getting started. There's like a whole courses that can take you through this. Like there's a bunch of like essentials, how to build, and those things. So it's all present here for people to consume and to do something. And if you want to like do some more things, like find out like what kind of functions are supported in Honeycomb, you can get rows, you can do those kind of things. It's all available here. Again, it's a separate documentation, so you will not find this on the AWS documentation per se, but it's available here, right? How to do some specific automations and all those things. Pretty cool. And I must say, the most things you would need, you can just create a sample application, see how it works, how it's kind of connected, and kind of replicate that. I think that's the quickest way to get started with this. All right. Well, I think that kind of covers it for today. Well, I hope you learned something. I hope you had a quick look at what this service does. I hope I have been successfully able to explain to you how you can use this, or is this the service for you? I had fun trying this out. Again, it's not something that I would use day to day, or something that I would use actively, but it's a great tool for other people to experience the power of code through no code. So if anybody has ever used Access or spreadsheets for doing things like creating applications, some simple front-end applications, this would be a great way to get them on board. And especially with mobile support, with web support, it's a really great way it's a super hands-off way, and there's nothing to maintain, fully manage all those things. And it's very affordable, at least for the time being, with the free option with a team up to 20 people. Super great, super cool. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you all for coming. And I will be seeing you this week on Thursday with another stream. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I need to figure that out. I have some people asking me for some topics, so I might cover something like from that. And Yeah, no code serverless, absolutely. Open air software. There's literally, it's fully no code serverless. The only thing you have, like, there's no not even a developer here, right? So it's a drag and drop thing. It's an Excel spreadsheet with on steroids. Let's call it that way. But it's very, very cool. Awesome. So thank you very much. See you again on Thursday. Hope you really do enjoy it. Please check out Dennis's Twitch streams. He does them very nicely. And there's also a bunch of events this week. Tomorrow we have a virtual dev day for the Russian region. So it's going to be something in Russian and English. On Thursday we have AWS Africa region launch event as well. A lot of talks, a lot of chances to learn something new. I've posted all those links on Twitter, LinkedIn, so if you follow me there, check them out there as well. And yeah, cool. Thank you very much. I really hope you enjoyed it. My name has been Darko Mesaros, and I will be seeing you on Thursday. Bye-bye.